Welcome into the Monday Morning Quarterback UK with your boys Ben, Dami, Kriski and Bids. It was AFC NFC Championship game weekend and it was banging. But before we jump into it, how was everyone's week?
To be honest, my weekend was good. I got back to Sunday League football, which was nice.
Can you run still?
Not really. But yeah, I came on as a sub in the second half because I turned up at the actual time of kickoff. So they're like, yeah, you can't actually start.
Big time.
We won 3-1 though, so I'm happy about that.
What position do you tell them you played this time?
I play centre back for this team because I can't run.
This guy turns up to other teams and says he plays up front, plays centre mid, plays on the wing.
I do, yeah.
You got zero mobility.
Yeah, nowadays I
The
don't.
turning circle is crazy.
Yeah,
I'm
a very slow guy nowadays. But yeah, we won 3-1, so that was a good Sunday for me. What about you, Biz? What did you get up to?
Mine was kind of chill. Highlights were a walk and doing a Harry Potter puzzle.
That's life
You
now.
didn't even do it, man.
Times have changed.
I've done that puzzle. It's
Times have changed.
a lot of fun.
The audience can't see this, but that puzzle is not done.
Bro, I didn't say it was done. That's how it started. You know what it takes to do a puzzle.
Great things take time.
He said, I did a puzzle. You started a
I
puzzle.
begun a puzzle.
You begun a puzzle.
I begun a puzzle. Yeah. I was into it as well.
Apparently.
Into it.
Yeah.
But it's
You can
hard.
see bare segments,
faces.
just
Bare faces. But yeah, that was a highlight. A walk and a puzzle. My life's entertaining.
That is some wholesome old man stuff.
30s hit hard.
30s. He's jumped like 40 years.
Don't worry about that. He enjoys puzzles. Kriski enjoys puzzles. So does Dami. You got one out.
Yeah, you actually are a little bit.
You're the one out.
I did the puzzle at Christmas with Jenny and her parents, to be fair.
There you
Tudor
go.
as well. It was the Tudors.
The Tudors! Oh, come on now.
Tudors too, you know.
How you gonna come at me when you do the Tudors puzzle?
Tudor puzzle, come on, man.
I didn't pick the puzzle.
Pick a better puzzle.
I didn't pick the puzzle. I was just present for it happening around me.
I would say you're better than that, but you're not.
Agreed. That's all you want from me. Like my puzzle connoisseur.
What about you, Kriski? What'd you get up to?
Yeah, no puzzles. But no, obviously the big game at the weekend, the Wolves versus West Brom, big local
I didn't know where
derby.
you were going with that.
Yeah, I
And
didn't know.
my boys came through, so 5th round of the FA Cup, if any of you guys know about that this season.
Wow.
But very happy, and then Sunday out in the van, went to the beach, so I can't complain.
What beach?
Down south somewhere, Camber, is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Canberra Sands.
Canberra Sands.
Oh, Canberra Sands.
Camber
Nice.
Sands.
Do you know
Went down
what?
there, mate, took the dog out.
Do you know all I think of Canberra Sands is the In-Betweeners?
Oh,
So
yeah.
I don't know it
What?
for anything else other than that episode of The In-Betweeners where they go to Canberra Sands.
Is that where they go?
That whole thing is at Canberra Sands and he talks about how crazy it is and how much is going on and they're like 15.
With the ice cream shop on the thing. That's Camber Sands.
No. The ice cream. That's like a really famous location. Like that's it's when he goes to caravans with Jay's dad.
Oh my god, okay. Yeah, I'll tell you about that.
Yeah, it's with Jay's dad and yes.
Jeez.
Anyway, off topic, but damn, Canberra Sands.
Yeah, I don't know that place at all.
Yeah, I've not been.
Yeah.
What about you, Ben?
Just with family. This weekend, pretty chilled. Saw my sister. It's good, man. Pretty chilled, wholesome
Shit, man, our
weekend.
lives have changed.
Yeah.
We're old people, man. We are not young. Remember we used to go out? When was the last time we actually went out on a night out?
I
I was like last weekend.
No,
Would you?
I don't believe you.
Alright. We're out next weekend.
Yeah.
Nah, just
Nah.
someone's birthday. It's not out.
Alright.
It's
We
not
might go to-
out.
What,
It's
you
not
wanted
out.
to have the full pre-drinks, ring of fire in the middle of the
No,
table
I wasn't
and go
saying
that?
I
Is that
wasn't
what you
saying-
want
I
to
missed
do?
them days.
No. I wasn't saying I wanted that. I just said we're not doing that anymore. And he was like, "No, I am." I'm like, "You're not."
Yeah, no.
Couple of beers and a puzzle, and this guy thinks he's out.
Wait, you didn't get to bed till half 10.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
Alright. Championship football.
3 games left. 2 of them down in this weekend. Last one coming up. Let's get into it. Ravens, Chiefs to begin with. What happened?
Well, it went exactly how you thought it would.
Yeah. I didn't want to be the one to say it.
You just set us up to set you up.
I just thought if I waited long enough, someone would say that I was bang
Just
on right.
go on.
So last week we said, last week's episode we were talking about predictions for the game. You lot all had the Ravens. I originally had the Ravens in my bracket, and then I changed it this episode because I was like, the Chiefs are not losing to the Ravens in this game. No chance. And I said it was going to be a low scoring affair. 2017 was the score I predicted. It was 17-10. That's pretty close. That's not bad. I'll take it. I said low scoring. I said it would be low scoring.
Yeah, anywhere near the score.
But the over under was like 45. So I got well under that. But pretty high scoring early on. So it started out 7 apiece in the first quarter, and then the Chiefs started to just take over.
Yeah.
Went up 17-7 at half, and then nothing
in the second half.
Just
nothing.
Defensive adjustments from the Chiefs just locked them down basically after the first quarter. Half time they locked them down.
Yeah.
Like the Ravens didn't really get a huge amount going. They had the one, what was it, Zay Flowers?
Yeah, chunk play.
Yeah, and then when he tried to dive across the goal line, and who was it?
It could have changed the whole game.
Yeah, Snead makes one of the best defensive plays I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure.
Like in terms of the position, what it meant in the game, and what game it was. Yeah, it's one of the best plays I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It could not have been closer to being a touchdown, and he's dived from the side and like punched it out of his hands as he's diving.
Wasn't Snead the one that Zay Flowers got done for taunting?
Yes,
yeah.
literally, it was on the same
That
drive.
makes it even sweeter.
The same
Amazing,
drive.
isn't it?
Like,
It's on the same drive.
Yeah.
Same drive. It was immediate. It was basically like 2 plays after. Yeah. I mean,
fair play.
it was a masterclass from the Chiefs of how they play now, which is, we spoke about it a few weeks ago, which was the Chiefs aren't just going to blow teams out. They are going to hold you to a low score, and they just need to score enough points. A couple of touchdowns, a field goal. That's as long as they get like a couple of touchdowns, they will win.
Yeah.
Like, because they would just always hold you. They didn't try and score more points much because they didn't need to. They didn't take any risks.
They trusted the defense.
Yeah.
I think
Absolutely.
it was mad how good that defense was. I think you touched on around the adjustments as well. I think Ravens just didn't seem to adjust in that second half offensively. Like they were still trying to go for that deep pass or trying to run the ball rather than just going for the quick slants or like the screen passes or anything like that. They just didn't try that at all, which I was quite surprised at. But
Harbaugh is an excellent coach, but all it did was flag up to me how much better Reed and Spagnuolo are. Like that's championship DNA.
Yeah.
Like that is, people have sort of talked this whole year about how bad the Chiefs been, loads of drops, not the same team. Are they even going to win a playoff game? That was a genuine conversation. Was, are they going to win a playoff game? And now we're kind of finding it hard to see a reason why they wouldn't win the Super Bowl. Like, is anyone really going to pick against them now? You lot all had the Ravens winning it.
Yeah.
No?
oh, I thought you meant the whole thing. Yeah, no.
Did you have Ravens and who did you have winning it then?
49ers win the whole thing.
Oh, Ravens, Niners beat the Ravens. Okay, so are you still sticking with the Niners then?
Yeah.
So Niners.
I'll still stick with it. We'll get into it.
Yeah. But I was interested in that because obviously you didn't have the Ravens, whereas we originally had the Ravens. I mean, I switched mine to the Chiefs, but in the last episode. But I mean, it was such a good game. What I was going to say about both of these games just before we get into the next one, but I don't remember. I mean, it's recency bias probably, but both of these games were nuts.
Yeah.
Just so entertaining for completely different reasons.
Yeah.
Like, this game was super low scoring. Nothing happened in the second half, but it was so engaging the whole second half.
Yeah.
I never. You guys mentioned halftime adjustments all the time. I never realised how important they are and how much of a difference it makes until sort of this season or recently.
Yeah.
And it is crazy. They just completely shut them out.
It massively clicked for me, the half-time adjustments in that game.
Yeah.
It was just so obvious. The Chiefs got even better and the Ravens just never got going.
And the Ravens they lost all kinds of discipline.
Yeah.
Like they had
so many penalties.
8 penalties total for 95 yards.
That's
And some of them was
five
the
15-yard penalties.
It felt like, or it felt obvious to me that the Chiefs knew what they were doing. They had been here before, championship DNA, and it felt like the Ravens don't get here often, and they don't. It just you could feel that as they were playing, that the Ravens weren't prepared for late game. We're behind. What are we going to do, and how are we going to approach this mentally? They didn't have the mentality. It all fell apart when they got into the second half.
You could see Lamar head's gone. He was there throwing his helmet out multiple times.
He was overthrowing a lot of passes, man.
And nothing more just sort of typified it than that pick to Likely.
Yeah.
Right at the end. So Isaiah Likely is the tight end for the Ravens. He was running like a deep route right into the end zone, and for some reason he puts his arm up. I still don't understand what he thinks he's seeing, but when you put your arm up as a receiver, you're basically saying, dash it my way, I'm going to get this, I feel like I've got a good opportunity. And normally you're doing that in single coverage, or if you just, the whole play's blown and you're just completely open. Triple coverage against the best secondary in the league is brazen.
Why just throw it?
Well, that's the other thing.
He doesn't have to throw it.
He doesn't have to throw it. So Likely, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what Lamar thinks he's doing. Because he sees the arm up and goes, well, because he probably only has half a second to make that choice.
I agree with that point, yeah. Because you're looking for your playmakers to help you out. Yeah. He puts his hand up, he's about to get hit, so he throws it, and he's like, imagine as soon as he left his fingers,
he's like, there's three people there now, this is done.
Also, as a quarterback, when you've not thrown it perfectly as well. He knew he hadn't thrown that perfectly.
Yeah, he underthrew it.
He underthrew it.
I should have been to the back of the end zone.
Yeah, it's not entirely unlikely. It's definitely 70% Likely's fault minimum. Because why are you putting your arm up there? You're forcing your quarterback to try and make one of the most ridiculous plays. Put your arm down. Like what?
70% as well.
I mean minimum. Like I don't know why you're putting your arm up. Like Lamar has to make that throw if he's in that situation. Sort of.
Yeah. Like you mentioned the mental game. The mental game started pre-game.
Yeah.
See, what's it called? Justin Tucker was doing his practice in that area, and Kelsey just comes over, launches his helmet, launches his kicking tee, but the thing is, like the Ravens got penalised for taunting but Kelsey was doing that the whole game. Okay. Like they were all doing it.
So I was arguing.
Even with the Flowers one. Snead grabbed onto his leg and was holding his leg down, which is why he initially kicked out, and then he did a bit too much. But
I was arguing this with my friend. Yeah, Travis Kelce was chipping at everyone yesterday. Like he was on it, but not once did he stand over a guy, flex on him, get the ball, spin it, and hit the player with it. Like he did too much. He did way too much on that.
Kelce is an experienced player, knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Kelsey knows
even
where the line is.
He's Mr. NFL at the moment, and they don't want to do anything against him.
No, he knows where the line is.
Yeah.
He knows where the line is. He knows he can say stuff to other players, but you can't physically stand over them.
But he was squaring up to people.
Yeah.
You're allowed to square up.
You're allowed to square up and have a little chest bump, stuff like that. It's not football where you chest bump someone and they dive on the floor holding their face. That doesn't really happen. People do flop and it's hilarious. But you don't get that in the NFL so much. The taunting aspect, because the personal fouls are when you actually hit somebody. Yeah. You can square up to people all you want. If you start gripping people, that's when they have a problem. But if you're standing over someone, it's just disrespectful, and they don't want that in the game. They want there to be chippiness and aggression, and that's what they're fine with. But Kelsey plays it to the line because he knows what the line is.
Yeah.
You'll never see him stand over someone.
He was. I think he was getting chippy with Patrick Queen or it was Roquan Smith, and then Kyle Van Noy came in and basically headbutted him.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And Kelsey was laughing because he was like, "I got him."
That's what he's trying to do.
Got him.
But that's the thing, the mental game. Why? How would you fall for that?
Because it's their first time.
It's their first time. They didn't have to. He's taunting you. Just laugh in his face.
This is what I'm saying.
To deal with it, man.
This is what I'm saying. The mentality coming into it, experiencing that position. Kelsey comes into that going, I know I'm winning this game, and I know how I'm going to annoy these players. I know how to act. I know what to do. It's I will get a rise out of somebody. Someone will try and hit me because I have that face. I laugh at you. I'm in your face. I'm not going to take it past the line because I know I'll get a flag. It's just smart plays. I mean, we haven't even got onto Kelsey and how nuts his stat line was.
His best game of the year.
100%.
I think, I mean, statistically not just in terms of yardage, but 11 targets, 11 receptions for 116 and a touchdown is nuts.
And some of them catches as well.
That one way mine's just launched, just it over and he's there, just dive.
Yeah, that was nice.
So Mahomes scrambled for 9 seconds, I think it was, which was crazy, around the pocket, just freeing up space. And then he sees Kelsey gets half a yard of space. He just flips it, so it's waggling in the air, and it's gone past Kelsey, dives and holds his arm out. The arm strength to not let the ball touch the ground there when he lands on the ground. His arms didn't move. I was like, this guy's absolutely jacked because he's held that in perfect position. It's just, it's special.
Yeah,
special.
I mean, we say Flowers had his ups and downs in the game, but 5 receptions, 115 yards, and 1 touchdown. I don't know if that's his best game of the season, but it's got to be up there.
I mean, he was the only receiver that did something like
got separation.
Don't get wrong. Credit to the Chiefs' defense again, but the receivers offered Lamar nothing in that game other than Zay. He let himself down slow. He did, but he's a rookie and he's going to learn an awful lot from
lost
that game.
His head. Like those two back-to-back plays, lost his head, and then he comes off the pitch all annoyed, slams his helmet on the floor, slams his finger on the bench,
Such a
cuts
rookie
his
thing
finger,
to
and starts
do.
shouting at medical.
Rookie
you got to be
things to
better than
do.
that.
Silly.
And I just don't understand it. You're playing at the highest level. At one of the most watched sports in the world, and you can't keep your head on.
Just the pressure of that season they've done. They've come in as number 1.
Yeah, you came in as the fake. Well, I don't know. As
they were the favourites.
Yeah.
They were the favourites in that game. Chiefs have been underdogs in their last 3 games. Yeah. Like I've said it already. It's Chiefs felt like they deserved to be there and were going to win the game, and the Ravens came in like they were rookies, like they just weren't prepared mentally for the game.
Okay.
Like it also felt quite clear to me that like the Chiefs have young receivers as well. Rice is a rookie, like they've got young receivers as well, but Rice and those guys weren't impetuous in the same way as the Ravens players were. The Chiefs players seem like they are bought fully into the approach and look to people like Kelsey and Mahomes for how to operate. Like, whereas it felt like Zay Flowers didn't have anyone. He wasn't looking to anyone. He wasn't looking to Mark Andrews. He wasn't looking to anyone. He was just, I'm the best player receiver on this team, and I'm going to do whatever I want. Rashee Rice doesn't think he's the best receiver on that team. It's like it just feels more humble to me. I don't know what it is. It just feels more like they're bought into the culture and the way it operates. Whereas the Ravens, it just felt like it all fell apart, and no one had the mental strength to even stay with it. Yeah. Even Lamar was all over the place, and he's like one of their most experienced, like best players.
You lost me at impetuous for a little bit. I don't know who that is. But,
it's a cornerback.
I don't disagree.
Impetuous Jones.
So, so where do you think this leaves the Ravens then? Do you think they're back in this game next year, or do you think do they learn a lot, or do they just kind of now just was that Lamar's best chance he's going to get?
I think this year was their year.
Yeah.
Just like the Bills, even though they had injuries, like I think this was their year. Hopefully, Joe Burrow is not injured again.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow is not injured again. A lot of teams have got new head coaches. Jim Harbaugh at the Chargers. Who knows what Jim Harbaugh can do at the Chargers?
I mean, it's still the Chargers, though. I mean,
playoffs.
Playoffs. They've got talent, man.
Chargers will make the playoffs.
Denver Broncos might be improved.
No, they won't.
Okay.
Fair? No, it might be. They might be. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, but like, who knows? Did the Bears get Caleb Williams, and Caleb Williams does a CJ Stroud?
Have you seen a theoretical trade for Caleb Williams right now?
No.
7 draft picks and a player.
No.
So right now, so I've seen someone theorise that they might trade it to the Raiders, to Vegas.
Okay.
Well, Max Crosby.
No.
7 picks.
There's no way.
It's not 7 first rounders.
That's still never gonna happen.
It's not 7 first rounders.
Just
it doesn't matter.
The whole draft
7
this year.
picks and
No, it's over 3 years. I think it's 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, and a fourth, or something like that, all spread across.
No, they're not that desperate. That's crazy. Even I know that's crazy.
It is crazy, but
the Raiders need a quarterback.
The Raiders need a quarterback.
They've got Aiden O'Connell and Jimmy G. They need
and
a
he's
quarterback.
cheap as well. He won't cost them anything for 4 years.
Just cost them their whole draft capital for the next 3.
Yeah, but they have Devontae Adams. They have Jacoby Myers. They have
what are their
players to
contracts
build
like?
around.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs as well.
What are their contracts like? Where did they go? Josh Jacobs did what this year?
But Max Crosby's expensive.
You got better chance using Zahir White? Zahir White?
Oh,
yeah. Josh Jacobs might go. But yeah, Zahir White will be cheaper. Devontae Adams is expensive, but Max Crosby is really expensive as well, so it frees up draft capital. And as I said, he will be dirt cheap.
No, that's crazy.
Anyway, I'm just giving
we need to get into drafts.
Yeah. We'll do a draft episode after the Super Bowl's over. But yeah, man, I saw that and thought, oh, that's juicy. Anyway, I cut you off what you were saying.
Back to your question, I think this was their best chance.
Yeah.
So I don't think they'll make it back to the AFC Championship.
Some of their best players, their best receiving options was a rookie this year. Surely next year he comes back and he's better.
Yeah,
They'll come back.
They keep that defense as well.
They learn to keep their discipline. They've been here. Now, if they keep that same core team,
Definitely.
but
If that defense doesn't change too
again.
much.
Yeah, but then that's like saying this is the worst the Chiefs will ever be, and they will likely make it back next year as well. Who knows? The Bills, once they have all their injuries on defense back, they'll be good. Like Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow, if he's fit,
Yes.
they'll be back.
Yeah.
I mean, that division is brutal.
AFC North, yeah,
That division's brutal.
the best division in football.
If you looked at it and let's say the Browns have a quarterback where they don't change over 4 quarterbacks through the year. Let's say they have that. They could easily get 1 or 2 more wins. Like, if they got 1 or 2 more wins and got like a 13-win season, like that sounds crazy, but like 12 wins, 13 wins for them, that wouldn't be ludicrous. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Maybe 11, 12. But Bengals, 12 wins. Then you got the Steelers.
What about the Texans as well in the other division?
Yeah. But just looking at that division, the Steelers also they made it in the playoffs this year. They always challenge.
They need a quarterback.
Yeah, but they always challenge.
Yeah.
There's a lot of quarterbacks in the draft.
That
Quarterbacks
division.
up for grabs.
Yeah, that division is one of the toughest. So like, it would not be ridiculous if the Ravens didn't make it in next year.
Wow.
Like 50%.
Wow.
50% of the teams this year won't make it into the draft next year. Statistically,
Yeah.
I think the
Okay.
Chargers will get in. I think it's
Interesting.
entirely possible the Ravens don't make it in.
Interesting.
Anyway, juicy game. That was
a
excellent.
juicy game.
Uh,
The Chiefs do it. What is it? 4 Super Bowls now
Yeah.
in 6 years.
No,
5.
Oh, into this is the fifth Super Bowl.
No, 4 Super Bowls in 5 years.
Yeah, 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 and 5, and then this would. I mean, they're gonna win. So,
We shall see.
so do we bother playing the game?
We
Just give it a win, like, it's fine. Also, Mahomes' stat line before we move on: 30 of 39.
Yeah. And what was your banker? Under 24.
Under 24 and a half completions. Yeah, he doesn't throw that many completions in most games.
Mate, he was
I feel like
perfect.
he blew that out in the first half.
First
Yeah.
half,
The first half, he beat.
Yeah.
I think he got like 5 completions in the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was like
Yeah, he got
perfect up
20,
until
yeah.
close to this half time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
And I was
yeah.
like, geez, fair play.
Yeah, that's nuts. That stat line was crazy.
I think the craziest stat is Lamar's 20 of 37. 37?
Yeah,
He threw way too
Why have you
much.
done this? 37 attempts.
Because Monken,
Oh,
the
right.
OC, completely lost his marbles and decided he wasn't going to use the running backs in the game.
Yeah.
Lord knows why.
Gotcha.
They're like 28th. Kansas City defense are like 28th in rush defense
Yeah.
in the league, and he just refused to run the ball.
Yeah.
Makes
I thought
sense.
Justice Hill would have a good game. But he
Yeah,
got 3 rushing
Or
yards.
even Gus Edwards.
3. Gus Edwards broke the line quite a few
Yeah,
a couple of times.
Yeah.
He got 3 rushing yards.
Yeah, Justice Hill got 3 rushing yards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isaiah Pacheco 24 carries as well for
Yeah.
68 yards.
How do you get
That's crazy talk. I don't know what's going on there.
that? Made no sense by Monken.
He got a few negative plays, I think,
Yeah.
as well. But 24
No.
carries, that just tells you everything about the way Chiefs were going to play in that second
Yeah.
half. They got the lead and they lent on the run game.
Yeah.
Very impressive game from them into the Super Bowl. Cool. On to the next one. Bids, talk to us. What happened in the NFC Championship game? Who played? What happened?
It was a roller coaster, really. Lions, 49ers. Lions had a storming start. Blew out the 49ers. But the second half was a completely different game. The 49ers ended up winning 34-31. First half, again, Brock Purdy. It was a rough watch. However, he pulled it back in the second half,
He did.
and he led his team to victory.
He did.
So there's a lot of hate. Even when we were watching the highlights back together, he was making these great plays. He made a couple of bad ones in the second half as well.
Yeah.
He was making great plays, and if someone like Mahomes or Lamar made those same plays, you guys will be losing your shit.
Exactly.
It's because Mahomes doesn't make those bad plays as well.
Yeah, but that's fine. Like, why can't we celebrate his wins and then laugh at his losses? It's laugh at his losses and then he's not that good when he does something good.
In my defence, I've been one of the
Biggest
biggest critics of Brock Purdy. I said to you before we started filming, I think he's a good quarterback. He played well.
That's different
He
from
played
what you
well.
said at the start of the season.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you said like about 6-7 weeks ago, if he makes it to the Super Bowl, I'll finally give him his flowers.
Yeah, he's getting his flowers. That's what I'm saying. He's a good quarterback.
Okay.
He's being so
it still feels backhanded.
gentle with it.
I still don't think he's a top 10 quarterback, but he's a good quarterback. And getting into the Super Bowl is an achievement regardless of how good he is and how well he's played.
Yeah.
Like, he's had the mental strength, the capacity to not get flustered in a scenario where he's down at halftime, which has been one of the biggest criticisms of him, where he really struggles when he gets behind, and he didn't. He made some ropey throws that he got away with, but 27 points in the second half after being down 24-7 in the first half.
He found his legs.
He did. The rushing was crazy. The scrambling was nuts. That was very
5
impressive.
carries, 48 yards, and some of them were crucial in their scoring drives.
Really important.
Escaping the pocket really well.
Yeah.
What was his stat line?
20 of 31 for 267 yards, 1 touchdown, one passing touchdown, 1 interception, which was ropey.
And he almost had another
one with Ayuk, which definitely should have been a touchdown.
Definitely should have been picked,
a pick.
and it bounced off the
his face
DB's
mask.
face into Ayuk's arms, giving them a touchdown.
That's what winners do.
Exactly.
Well, that is how you lose a game. Like that is how to lose a game.
But his 5 carries, 48 yards, like he showed his athleticism. Like
absolutely,
he hasn't done that many times this season. If any.
Hasn't needed to.
Hasn't needed to. But it's funny. I was watching the coverage on Sky Sports, and they had Kirk Cousins on pre-game, and he was talking about what it means to be a quarterback in the Super Bowl and what you do, putting your body on the line. And Kirk was like, like everything goes out the window when you're in the
bets are off in the
playoffs. Like, I'm gonna run through a brick wall, like, and it proved it. Like he was rushing for his life, and he looked comfortable, gaining a couple extra yards as well. It wasn't just sliding; he was going for it.
He probably should
out.
slide a little bit more.
I get it.
Diving face first was questionable.
Considering again, you got something to be criticism.
No. What I was going to say was because if he gets injured again, that's brutal.
Yeah.
After he got injured in the championship game last year and they lost, absolutely got crushed by the Eagles.
Yeah.
But if he got injured because he didn't slide, that would have been heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So that's why I would have just said just slide a little bit, just once every now and then. Maybe don't dive between those two linebackers who are massive and trying to take your head off. If he wins the Super Bowl, which I would happily suggest is definitely not going to happen, but let's say he does, he'll get his flowers for sure. Top 10 QB.
Okay.
Because even because regardless of how well he actually plays in that game, it would have come down to they would have got enough points to beat the Chiefs, which says enough for me, because it meant that Andy Reid did not do enough to stop Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
And yes, it could be a defensive battle, and if Brock Purdy throws for 1 of 25, 4 picks, but Mahomes happens to throw for 5 picks, I'm not going to be like, well, Purdy carried him to the Super Bowl win, but if he has
that game is not going to happen.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like if he has like an 80+ passer rating, like that's good enough.
Yeah.
Again, obviously playing against the Chiefs, he's probably going to need more than that. But if he has an 80 passer rating, they somehow pull out the win. That would be nuts. What a story as well, Mr. Irrelevant.
I think it's already a story. This is
100%.
This is the first time Mr. Irrelevant went against the first pick in a draft before.
True. No, I wasn't saying it's not already ridiculous. I'm saying that would be ludicrous to win a Super Bowl after being Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
In 2 years.
Yeah, that's
2
crazy.
years as a starter. Yeah. That's crazy.
He'll have a job for life.
Yeah.
He's probably already got a backup job regardless of how it turns out.
Like I said, that second half was just different. Like 20 unanswered points. They just blew.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Completely blew that lead. They went field goal, touchdown, field goal, touchdown. And then kneel.
It's crazy.
But for every story like that, there's always the other side, and it's like, what the hell were the Lions doing in that second half?
And I think the game sort of was closed out how I said it would be by Dan Campbell just going a bit Rambo and.
There were a few questions.
He stuck to the reason they got there.
Yeah,
and I
do make adjustments.
Yeah, you can.
But I do think there was a couple of times where there were like 4th and something where it was like
5.
Yeah, and they were on the 30-yard line or something. I was like,
just go for
kick the field goal. Yeah.
So
But But they still put up 31 points against that 49ers
And no one
defense.
saw them starting that fast. I think everyone thought it was going to be the other way around. The 49ers starting absolutely guns blazing, and then, but credit to the Lions.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I honestly think, like we said it before, half-time adjustments were the difference here, and Shanahan had been there before. I think this was two games of the more experienced coach knowing how to operate in this game and knowing how it goes and how the mental game can come into it. And second half, no one panic. We can make adjustments. Even at 24-7 down, I guarantee Shanahan was in the locker room being like, no problem. We can do this. Who cares what the stats say about how bad we've been coming back from this stuff? Shanahan's like 1 of 35 or something when they've been down at half. Like, irrelevant in this game. This is a different game, and it just felt like they came back and they were so calm about it. Everything was done the way that he would have expected, and it just didn't feel like Dan Campbell had that kind of same calm.
Yeah,
just felt like they weren't. Just the halftime adjustments made the difference. It looks like again. Great games though.
Brilliant games. And Lions then, where do you think that comes back next year? I think they learn a lot from this. I think they keep that culture, and I think they keep going. And
it's a tough division still though.
Yeah,
it's going to be very tough.
NFC North, man. I mean, like, does Kirk come back? Green Bay Packers are going to be better.
Yeah.
And you assume so.
And then the Bears could be.
Who knows what the Bears could be?
You don't know what the Bears.
You have no idea what the Bears could be.
I think the Bears will still be bad, even if they get Caleb.
All right, cool.
even if just my opinion. Even if they get Caleb in their first year, I think it will take him a little while just to get gelled with that. They'll need
Caleb and a receiver, so they'll need like a Marvin Harrison Jr. or something.
The Bears are good for receivers.
It's a fun.
DJ Moore and Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, that's true.
Ballers. And is it Cole Kmet?
Okay.
Nice tight end.
Yeah, DJ Moore emerged as a good receiver this year. I always felt he was more of a high end 2 than a solid 1, but he did have a good year. So maybe he can fulfill that role. But if they get like a Marvin Harrison Jr., that's a solid receiver core. That's really solid. I think they probably need one other weapon, like a true number 1, but you could probably get away with it.
Yeah.
But definitely to shore up that O-line.
Yeah, that O-line was...
Definitely to shore up that O-line.
That
it was Justin Fields just running for his life the whole year.
Got him injured multiple times.
Yeah, and not having Caleb Williams doing that. Caleb Williams is like a Mahomes in that you scramble when you need to, not, well, I'm going to have to run for 150 in this game if we're going to try and win. Like, that's not really the strategy we want to approach with our like potential like $50-60 billion a year quarterback.
Yeah.
Anyway, but... yeah, one other thing I'll just say on Brock Purdy, like what well played and what a performance getting into the Super Bowl. That's very impressive.
And I think we have got to touch on his weapons. C-Mac. Yeah.
Sensational.
Unbelievable.
Another game of over
132 combined yards.
Should have got 3 touchdowns.
Should have got 3 if he didn't fall on his head.
Landed on his head. Or when he got it to the 1 yard line, landed on his head.
He said, boss, I need one.
Give me 5.
Just ran it in.
And Bosa as well, 2 big sacks as well.
Bosa played well.
He hadn't got a sack for like 4 games.
Big when he needed it. Debo Samuel is just...
And Debo.
It's not even the 8 receptions for 89 yards. That's a good stat line. Like 8 receptions is good. 89 yards is also impressive. It's just that it's in commentary they were talking about it. They had like a meeting with Shanahan before the game, and they were like, "Oh, if Debo Samuel's out, like half of our playbook goes out the window, just because he's so impressive and you can line him up almost anywhere."
Yeah.
They have so many plays that revolve around where he is, and I think that's the biggest loss. I think actually, if they miss a player, it's got to be either him or Trent Williams, and obviously CMC is up there as well. Those 3. Any of those 3 go down, it changes things. But I think Debo offers them a lot more than people realise.
Well, he's probably either a great option to hit a pass to or rush the ball, but also 100%. In terms of the bluff as well. In terms of just keeping him busy with defenders, and then it just frees up options elsewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
He's so vile.
I did say that, but Juwan Jennings came in when he was injured in the last game, and he had a really good game. So he played really well. But
didn't use him the same way.
No, he tried to, and it flopped.
I had him in a bet for 1 reception. He got it, and then the next play is that when he got injured and went out. I was like, just saved my bet that day.
But that's it. Like Juwan Jennings is a good receiver, but he's a fine receiver. Like he's a good backup, but he's not going to have that same impact. But if they can all stay healthy, which it looks fairly good right now, I think McCaffrey's okay, isn't he? He landed his head, but he's fine.
Yeah, said it was a stinger, but
he could be okay. That's going to be a great game. But
can't wait.
Yeah.
You can't. There's no way in the world you can see them 49ers winning that game?
So the 49ers nearly lost to the Lions, right?
That's true.
And there was no discernible reason why that would have happened. It wasn't like a quarterback injury or an injury of a player. Like, the 49ers had their whole team, everyone was prepped, they knew who they were playing, they should have been as prepared as possible. There's no mitigation there. And they were at home, right? There's no mitigation there. Like, it's not like Brock Purdy was injured or was carrying an injury. No one was carrying a significant injury. And they still nearly lost. Let's flip it and let's say the Lions had got through, right? They'd somehow managed to get through this game. Do you think the Lions would be anywhere close to beating the Chiefs?
Oh, no chance.
Destroy them, right?
Yeah.
Like, the Lions get maybe 10 points.
Unless the Lions surprise them like they surprised the 49ers.
I just don't see that happening to Andy Reid and Spagnuolo. Like, the 49ers, I think, don't have enough defensively to keep the Chiefs out, but they also don't have enough offensively to put up enough points to beat the Chiefs. Like, the Ravens got 10 points.
I don't know, it's tough, because I think the times when the 49ers click on offense, they can put up 30, 40.
On anyone.
On anyone?
On anyone.
Except the Chiefs.
I don't know. Like,
except the Ravens as well. They only put up 19 against the Ravens.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, when it clicks, like when they when their offense is ticking.
But how does it click?
Well, that's down to see if the plans and
and that's it. And I think the more time you give, and Shanahan is probably one of the best 5 coaches in the league without question.
Offensive coaches for sure.
Yeah, and he's the best.
Yeah,
it's not really close. And I just think Spagnuolo's had such success as setting up the defense against everyone they've played. 49ers aren't the best offense they've played. They are. Like, definitely top 3. Not the best. And they've held everyone under like low scoring. No one's put up points on them. In no situation. I just don't see a scenario where the 49ers are able to put up more than 20 points, but I do see a scenario, pretty much every scenario, where the Chiefs put up 3 touchdowns. Or 20-21.
Yeah.
It'll just be enough. They won't blow them out. It's not going to be like 35-7. They're not going to destroy them. I think there's a higher likelihood that the Chiefs would get blown out than the Chiefs blowing anyone else out. Like, because Mahomes has had that happen to him like a few times in the past. It doesn't happen in the playoffs to him. So I think the chances are it's probably going to end up being like 2017 or something like that, 23-20. Low scoring again, but I just don't see it.
Interesting. What is the 49ers' lowest scoring game this year?
Oh, I don't know. I'll have a quick look, but I just don't think the 49ers have enough. The Chiefs are just too good.
Yeah.
No, we just talk about their weapons so much, and if Brock Purdy has a good game, then surely they've got every chance.
No, there's no doubt in my mind that I've been impressed by Brock Purdy, and if he actually plays well, doesn't have a bad half like he's had in the past 2 games, if he plays a whole good game of football, there's no doubt they can put up points. But the 49ers defense, they didn't stop the Packers. They should have lost to the Packers, really. Yeah. They gave up 31 points to the Lions. Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs offense hasn't played well all year, but Kelsey,
all you need is an MVS.
I mean.
So interestingly, you asked for their lowest point scores were. They scored 17 points 3 times.
Okay.
Do you know what their record was in those 3 games?
Loss.
0-3. Browns beat them 19-17. Vikings beat them 22-17. Bengals beat them 31-17. Every time they've been held under 20, they've lost.
Who was the first team?
The Browns.
Okay. Ouch.
Browns, Vikings, Bengals, all 3 in a row. And then they came back and absolutely blew out the Jags. Everyone does that, well, apparently, in this season.
The most amount of points that Kansas City Chiefs have given up this year, I think...
21.
No, it was 24 against the Bills. Do you reckon the Kansas City Chiefs can score more than 24 points against the 49ers?
Yes.
If the Packers can and the Lions can.
Do you know what, as well? They will only score that many points if they need to score that many points. Like, that is just how I feel. Like, they won't score that many more than them because they don't need to. They control the game. Long drives, field goal. Long drives, field goal. Long drives, get down. Like, they were like, what was it, like a 12-minute drive, a 9-minute drive? Yeah. The time of possession in the first half was like 21-9.
Yeah.
Like, domination. And yeah, the point that you look at that and you think, oh, they're probably up 2 or 3 touchdowns, but they don't need to be up 2 or 3 touchdowns. They're not trying to just launch it around, because every time they've done that before, they've thrown a picks or wide receivers have dropped stuff. They just don't do it because there's no need to.
So they just use Pacheco to elongate the plays.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, especially in that second half, what I noticed was if they ever had a third down, which they actually had quite a lot because they weren't really getting first downs. The third downs, they were either going, let's just run it with Pacheco, see how many yards he gets. If he doesn't get it, we just punt it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they went for a pass play, he probably just checked it down and saw how far they could go, and they just punted it because they knew their defense had it.
Yeah.
Just don't make a mistake. Why did the Ravens lose? Because they had turnovers.
Yeah.
Save Flowers, fumble. Lamar gave away a fumble in his own 50. And the interception, 3 turnovers. Like, that cost them the game.
Yeah.
It's complimentary, risk-free football.
Have you seen, like, none of the passes that Mahomes threw could have been picked?
Not really.
Not really.
The only one would have been the Kelsey one, where he flipped it, and you're like, if he slightly messes that up, he didn't.
Yeah.
He put it in a place.
I don't think anyone was even in any. No one had any right to catch that on the pitch.
No, he had some. Roquan Smith had some kind of coverage, but Kelsey was the only one who could catch that. Really,
it's the sort of playing where it's like, if my player's not going to catch it, no one's catching
Correct.
it.
It's risk. It's low risk. Low risk football. Complimentary.
Yeah,
Let's
game
lean on
manager.
the defense. Yeah.
Do you know what? That's fine.
He's just the best ever.
With this team, he has to game manage. Because the team offensively are not good enough to be down and him to come back. Because I think most of the games they've played this season, if they've been down going into the fourth quarter, they actually haven't been able to come back because their receivers were dropping catches.
Yeah.
So that's why he's like, I'm going to get out to a lead, I'm not going to make any mistakes.
Yeah, correct.
I'm not, like, and the thing is, they gave away a fumble in the last game because it was at the end zone and it was a touchback.
Yeah.
This game, they were clean.
Clean.
Absolutely clean. No mistakes made.
Look at the completion percentages, like 30 of 39. Like,
and
that's crazy.
And he was refusing to take sacks as well. Like, he did end up taking 2 sacks.
Yeah,
but then most of the time he was just like, I'm just chucking it away.
Yeah.
Like,
what was it? First time he'd been sacked in the playoffs.
In the playoffs this year.
That was the first time he was sacked in that game.
And he had his backup left guard.
Yeah.
And that guy actually played quite well, so fair play to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so impressive.
Yeah.
I think this really just says everything about how good the Chiefs are. Down year, and they're the best team.
Yeah.
So people are saying it's a down year, but it's just a different style of Chiefs team. I don't even think it was necessarily a down year. It was just a different style of Chiefs team, but we didn't really realise it until we got further into the season. You started seeing, oh, okay, like that record's actually pretty good, and yeah, they lost some games in the middle, but they also lost some games every year before when they've been amazing.
Yeah.
Like, they've not gone perfect season, have they? They've lost games. Like, that is just the reality.
You just turn it up in the playoffs.
They play, like Nick Wright said it was their season starts in the AFC Championship game, and they either go 2-0 or 0-1 or 1-1.
They make it there every year.
Yeah.
Every year with Mahomes. I think this might have been the first or only the second year that he started the year in the wildcard round. Normally they always start.
Yeah, he has home field advantage. It's the first time he hasn't had home field advantage. Yeah.
Normally they always start.
Yeah.
In the divisional round.
All right, cool. So what's our take for the Super Bowl? Kriski, who you got? Still sticking with your Niners? Niners Chiefs?
Yep. I'm going to stick to my guns.
Score?
24-17.
24-17, 49ers win by a touchdown.
I was actually going for that as well.
I was going to say...
24-17 to the Niners?
No, to the Chiefs.
Okay, I'm 24-21 to the Niners.
24-21 to the Niners? I'm going 2017 again. Exact same score I put last game.
Yeah, 24-21, I think... Yeah, no, I think the offense at one point in this game, one quarter, they're just gonna cook the Chiefs. Something crazy is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Chiefs are gonna have a lapse of concentration. They're gonna put some points on, and then the Chiefs will play their normal game to try and that they usually would play, but they're already down 2 touchdowns. So
something like a little fumble recovery,
exactly,
pick 6 or something like that.
That's my
so
prediction.
I got a random question for you. How do you think they're going to score their points? Do you think it's going to be long, methodical drives with like Christian McCaffrey, Debo, Samuel, or do you think they're going to just hit chunk plays with Ayuk and maybe Kittle?
I think it's going to be Debo to sort of take them on the field,
Yeah.
and then McCaffrey's just going to run in.
Okay.
It's a simple but effective strategy.
I mean that it works.
And
So
I think they will just make a few mistakes. I think they've got at times arrogance is good, but I think they've got a kind of arrogance where they've already won the game before they played the game, and I think that's what happened. That's what happened in this the championship as well. Like the mental games, they'd already won that game. But this one, you've already won the game. This is the Super Bowl. It's slightly different. Like this is the highest of high levels. Yes, they've done it, but mistakes can happen. And if you're too overconfident in anything, any field in the world, you can slip.
Yeah, that's
no,
true.
you're right.
That's true. I feel like if any team is going to be not prepared for the game, though, it's going to be the 49ers because they've not been here.
Yeah.
They've not been here since 2019.
Yeah, 4 years ago. 4 years
Yeah,
ago.
2019,
They lost
yeah.
to the Chiefs.
That was
Yeah,
it.
that's the
Yeah,
Chiefs,
lost
yeah.
to the Chiefs.
And I think they do. I think they do have more riding on it.
Yeah.
They know this is because obviously they've got a period of shifting up, like moving on players, and it's coming up, and they do have a lot riding on this. Whereas the Chiefs are just proving again that they are.
I think the Chiefs are eerily similar to the Patriots in terms of
that era.
Yeah, like they just
Dynasty.
they're relying on the defense now. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, both excellent quarterbacks. Don't make mistakes. I've got really good tight ends. I've got one good wide receiver, but I'm just going to rely on my defense. Bill Belichick was a great defensive coach. You've got Steve Spagnuolo, who's probably the best defensive coordinator out there. Just don't make mistakes. Our offense will get us enough points, and we're going to see through the game. And like you were saying, that it's bordering on arrogance. The Patriots knew they won games.
Yeah.
Before the game started, because they knew they had the best coach, the best quarterback, and the best offensive weapon out of everyone. It's the same with the Chiefs. They know as long as we don't make mistakes, we're probably going to win the game.
But mistakes can happen.
Yeah, no, of course.
It means one missed tackle, and we see how many times that happens.
Yeah, but that's the same for the 49ers.
Of course. I'm giving my. You asked me a question. I'm answering the question.
Yeah.
You can run on this Chiefs team though.
Oh yeah.
It's been possible to run on this Chiefs team. So if McCaffrey can get going, you could lean on that, and you could cause them problems that way. If you lean on the run game, use Debo complementary and Ayuk complementary pieces, Kittle in there as well, dabbled in there. They could cause them some problems. I don't see it, but they have the weapons. It really depends on coaching, I think, at this point. Like, how do you set them up for success? How do you find ways to exploit this defense? Because the Ravens couldn't really do it. A couple of big plays, that was about it. A couple of long balls down to Zay Flowers, and not a lot else.
Yeah.
But they could run the ball a little bit, so could ride the running game, and he might get a chance. But
Do you think anyone else in that conference would have been better suited to play the Chiefs or beat the Chiefs?
Probably not.
This is the best they got, and they're still not going to win.
Yeah, but there's a thing about how really the NFC is actually the weaker conference compared to the AFC. Look at the quarterbacks in the AFC, and then compare that to the NFC quarterbacks. Like really, Brock Purdy is a top 5 quarterback in the NFC. He might not make top 8 in the AFC as a quarterback. Yeah. Well, it depends if you rate him highly, but he's doing well. He's made it to 2 NFC Championship games. You can't say much else.
Great playoff record.
Yeah, the record about him, like if he starts and finishes a game, he's basically unbeatable. It's just insane. It's an insane record.
Going as we were saying, the joke is that the Super Bowl has already been played, and it was between the Ravens and the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, because of the colour scheme.
But also because Chiefs
sorry, the Ravens and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
because the Ravens are a tougher out than the 49ers. The Ravens are. If you put the Ravens next to the 49ers, what happens? They blow them out because they already did. So I don't think this one might score-wise be close, but you won't feel like it's close.
Yeah,
that's my take.
And the thing is, like, yes, they've got 49ers. They've got McCaffrey. They've got Debo. They've got Juwan Jennings. They've got Kittle. Like, Ayuk. Did you notice in that game yesterday between the Ravens and the Chiefs, they only gave up one big play, and that was the play to Zay Flowers.
They got two. They had two big chunk plays to Zay Flowers. You had like a 50-yarder and then the one where he taunted.
Okay.
The one where he taunted just chucked him back.
No, that was the 50-yarder.
No, he did have another big one, I thought.
No, that was the only play.
Really?
Yeah, it was the 50-yarder, and then he got the taunting penalty off that.
Yeah, okay.
They only gave up one big play against the Bills. I mean, they gave up quite a few plays which Stephon Diggs and Sherfield should have come down with. But technically they didn't come down with it, so they really didn't give up that play. And then against the Dolphins, they gave up that one play for a touchdown.
Yeah.
They're not giving up big plays. So Ayuk might get taken out of the game, but then I don't know, Kittle. The thing is, the Chiefs have got really good linebackers. They're not amazing. They're not as good as the Ravens linebackers, but they're good at what they do. Yeah. Willie Gay might be back.
If he's back, it's a problem.
You got Drew Tranquil and you got Nick Bolton. Really good linebackers in the middle of the field. And then the reason why the Chiefs' defense is so good, their secondary doesn't give it up much at all. They're very good at man coverage.
Yeah, really good.
So you might get taken out. Debo. It depends if they use Debo as like in something like.
They'll have to. That's what he's going to try and do.
Screens, but I don't know. I just think if they could barely beat the Packers and then they barely beat the Lions, I don't see how they beat the Chiefs after who the Chiefs have just beaten to get there.
Agreed.
But I said we do another forfeit.
What did you have? 24-21 Chiefs. 24-17 Chiefs.
Yeah, same score as him. But the Chiefs.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So we got a week in between Pro Bowl next week. We'll chat about that.
Yeah. Explain the Pro Bowl for me quickly. I'm not even familiar with this game.
So we'll delve into it properly next week, but just very briefly, the Pro Bowl is essentially players get voted for by fans and then I think media types as well, who is essentially the best for each conference in their position. And then you build out an entire roster, an entire team of players with alternates as well, with backups. And then they're considered essentially that best team. It would be like, I don't know, like World 11 in FIFA, if you're trying to like compare it to something football related. It's voted the best players of that year in theory. I think some players got snubbed a little bit. Snead got snubbed. Snead should have probably been in there. But
Josh Allen didn't get picked.
Yeah. Some legitimate snubs.
Wow.
But that's essentially, and then they then do a bunch of skills challenges and all this kind of stuff. But they also then do they play against each other.
The players in the Super Bowl play.
No, Super Bowl players. They come out and then alternates. That's why you have alternates who then come into it.
Okay. Yeah.
So you have three quarterbacks. They bring in three quarterbacks. And they normally rotate them through and all that kind of stuff. Like it's not much of a game. It doesn't really mean a huge amount.
I'm sure the skill games are exciting though.
Skill games are fun to watch, but
not for you.
I like the highlights of them. I like seeing cool stuff that happened, but actually watching it through is really long. It's a bit much.
The thing is that back in the day, the players took it a lot more seriously. Like it was a badge of honor to be made to go to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
And like the games they played, they actually went at it.
A little bit more, yeah.
But now the players just don't because they don't want to risk injury.
Yeah, the ones I remember, they used to do dodgeball. And
they took it seriously.
The quarterback challenge where they launch it at the targets. Yeah.
They still do
that before leading up to the game. Yeah,
they still do some stuff.
Some skill games, but
the skill games are interesting, and that's some of the stuff we could maybe do. We'll look at doing maybe some skill stuff. Yeah, it could be funny. Could be good. We'll maybe do some bits and pieces in the off season. Could be good. But yeah, I like. I don't know how you do it in the NFL, but I like the way that baseball do it. So I explained this before. I feel like I might have explained this before, but I'll just run through it. So baseball, they do the All-Star game, which is essentially the same thing, Pro Bowl, but they do it halfway through the season.
Seems strange.
Or they do it like halfway through the season, and basically the winner of the game gets home field advantage for the World Series. So it's a 7-game series, the World Series.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And the team, the division or the conference that wins,
Oh,
the American League or the
okay.
National League, whoever wins gets the 4th game at home.
Okay.
So that's
Yeah,
a really big
okay.
deal in the
Yes,
in MLB in baseball. So I would love it to have some kind of meaning, because if you're playing baseball and you're in the All-Star game, it actually means something to you, because your team might actually get to the World Series, and then there's a reason for you to actually try in that game. And it's normally fairly competitive. You are the best pitchers out there. Like it's entertaining and worth a watch if you like baseball. But the NFL one it doesn't interest me. I don't watch it. It's like 45-point games sometimes. It just gets a bit silly because no one defends. I mean, they've gotten a little bit better. It's not they don't do a silly scoring now, but it's normally pretty rough.
Don't they do flag football now?
Yeah, they're doing flag football as well.
They do flag football.
What's the
Who? What they play the game in flag?
Yeah, play flag instead of like contact. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's probably why he doesn't watch it.
Yeah.
It's just but the Pro Bowl is a proper contact one.
No, it's not.
Not this year.
No.
They've made it flag football.
Yeah, it was flag football last year.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I don't watch it. I don't watch it because it just stopped being interesting, and now it's gone to that. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a watch or try.
Yeah.
The skill stuff's cool.
Yeah, the skill stuff.
We can get some ideas for us. See how I can cook you as a wide receiver.
Bro, I just want to see you run.
I don't need to
Run
run.
a 40-yard dash.
Don't need to run.
Blow everything you have.
I don't need to run to catch.
As long as there's no stairs involved.
Yeah, I don't have it. I don't have the climbing ability.
You know, the jumping ability, anything, man.
I can catch apparently.
Yeah, and I thought as we get towards the end of the episode that we'll talk about some of the coaching changes that we've seen in a lot of teams off season, as it were. So we already spoke about Jared Mayo going to the Patriots.
Yeah.
But some new additions as head coaches. So Raheem Morris to the Falcons. Kriski, are you happy about that?
Can't wait, mate.
Yeah. Well,
is it a good move?
Well, he's a defensive coordinator. He's done all right. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion.
Okay.
So
good resume then.
Yeah, so you've got a good resume. Anything's better than Arthur Smith.
Yeah.
But you guys need to find a quarterback, so that should be fun.
Yeah.
Dave Canales, who was the offensive coordinator, that basically developed the Bake Show back into the guy he was. He's gone to the Carolina Panthers. Jim Harbaugh at Bids' Chargers.
Big one.
Bids, are you happy about that?
Big move.
Yeah, but I didn't. Well, he's an ex-Charger quarterback. Yeah. But I didn't realize I forgot that he was he's coached in the NFL before as well. Like,
he's got the highest winning percentage. Active winning percentage.
I didn't realize that.
He was nuts.
I just thought he'd been in college the whole time.
He was nuts.
And at some point, I did think him and John were the same person.
They look
the
same
person. I saw their dad.
He works hard, man. He coaches
college in completely different parts of the country. Damn.
Yeah, I saw their dad in the stand as well. And I was like, geez, they're just the same person.
Same guy, yeah. Same guy.
Yeah, but I think he's great at developing quarterbacks.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So let's hope that him and Herbert can work together.
Yeah.
And pull something together.
I think they make the playoffs. I think he makes that big a difference. Everywhere he's gone, he makes an immediate impact. He's that good a coach. Yeah. He's really good. I just didn't think he would want to go to the Chargers.
Yeah.
Just because that's a dodgy situation with the amount of players and the cap space situation.
Yeah.
But I genuinely think he makes them so much better that they could scrape into the playoffs. Like 9-8, but they could get into the playoffs.
Maybe he ignites Quinton Johnston.
Yep.
It's going to take someone to do that.
Well, like you've got Eckler and Keenan Allen. They're old, but they're still good. Well, Allen's good.
I imagine what you'll get. No, they'll have to go. Yeah. At least Eckler's probably going to have to go.
Yeah.
They'll have.
He can go, man. Guy's slower than Dami.
We'll have to drag that trailer out the stadium. But Khalil Mack's going to have to go probably. So expensive. There's just too many expensive players. If they hang on to I think he probably goes wide receiver. What's his name?
What? Not Allen.
Yeah, Keenan Allen.
Really?
Probably have to go. He's really expensive. Yeah, Keenan Allen probably have to go. I wonder what odds you'd get on Quentin Johnson having a 1,000-yard season next year.
I don't know, but it's not going to happen.
I don't know too.
I'm having a look.
What did he get? 100? Did he get 100 yards?
I'm going to Google that actually because I feel like he probably got more than that.
Did he?
I might have
Actually, I don't know.
I might have a cheeky gander at that because I don't know. I think yeah, I don't know. I like it. If he's the number 1 or number 2 receiver on that team,
Yeah.
Number 1?
He wouldn't have been. It would have been Keenan Allen.
and Keenan Allen goes.
Parham. There was Everett Jr. I think as well.
Everett's tight end, but yeah, right.
Yeah, but still a receiver.
He got 431.
Nah, I was just seeing that. No, he didn't.
38 receptions.
What's your problem?
38
man?
receptions off of 67 targets for 431.
No, it didn't happen.
I don't know, man.
He got a 91.
Yeah, he did.
He got received against the Broncos.
Yeah.
Account. And we lost.
Of course you
1,000
did.
yards?
Of course you did.
I see it. I see that being a 1,000-yard season room next year. I'll see what the wide receiver room looks like because obviously if they bring in 5 different wide receivers, all that kind of stuff, and it gets a bit crazy. But if he's 1 or 2 receiver, number 1 or number 2, 1,000 yards, I reckon.
Yeah, so it's looking positive for the Chargers. And then the last one so far is Brian Callahan, the OC at the Bengals. He's gone to the Tennessee Titans to replace Mike Vrabel. So I don't really know much about him apart from he's worked with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's probably top 3 quarterback in the league. And Joe Burrow said that he's been fundamental in his improvement as a NFL quarterback. But is that really Brian Callahan, or is it just Joe Burrow's that guy? Because he was that guy in college, so I don't know.
Ben Johnson still hasn't got a job.
Yeah, but I think that's because he was in the playoffs up until last night.
So it was Dan Quinn.
Yeah, but Dan Quinn got blown out by the Packers.
Yeah, but he got his job before then, didn't he?
I don't know.
I think he got his job before. Maybe not.
No,
maybe not.
No.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
So are there any jobs left for him to get?
Yeah, so there are 2 jobs left: the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington Commanders.
And Bill Belichick is still out there. Like,
He'll take the
is this going to be the first? What is it? Has he been coached for like 50 years or something?
Yeah.
This would have been his 50th year going into it, and he's going to be. Do you think he's going to go to the Seahawks?
I like Ben Johnson for the Seahawks.
No, I'm talking about Belichick still. Is he going to be? He's not going to make his 50th year in a row.
Yeah, I think odds have changed now to actually not have the team.
I don't think he'll have a team.
Yeah, I think he might go into TV, or he might just chill for
a year and then maybe
come back.
TV, that's long as well.
Yeah.
Guy needs a rest.
Yeah, like Jurgen Klopp. Take a rest.
Jurgen Klopp's been coaching what?
24 years
24
straight.
years?
24 years straight. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I like Ben Johnson for the Seahawks. I think that could be a good job for him.
Yeah. Who's the last one?
Washington
Commanders.
Washington Commanders.
Vrabel.
No one wants that gig.
No one wants Sam Howell.
Vrabel.
I feel like he could do better. He probably wants that Seattle job. I think the Seattle job is the most appetising one out of the 2, for sure.
You never really know what you have with Geno Smith, do you?
Yeah, but they've got weapons.
They've
got weapons, and they drafted some really good rookie defensive players as well.
Yeah, I think it's a good situation to go into. I'm not sure what their cap situation is like, but I think they've got some good rookie players. Cool. Anything else?
No, not in terms of coaching changes. No.
I just meant in general, but yeah. I mean, also coaching changes, but yeah.
Anything else? Just pissed that we have to wait a week for the Super Bowl.
2 weeks now.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not this.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, 2 weeks. Yeah,
man.
Week off. Prepare yourself mentally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we'll catch you in the next one. Nice one, guys.
Peace.